This has its own magic.
Look, yeah, I'm about my money, little bitch. Yeah, I'm about my money, little bitch. Hold up, yeah, I'm about my money, little bitch. If you fucking with a nigga, help a nigga get rich. Look, yeah, I told my bitch I'm about paper. Trying to jug it up, baby, trying to get a scraper. Trying to get a play on the
Guy King TV. I'm Patai, and I got a question from one of my Patreon supporters who, pretty much, he had a question, and the question was, how do you handle your new freedom in terms of spirituality, and if you are coming from Christianity or you got a family who's Christian, how do you deal with your new awareness and awakeness in terms of spirituality and dealing with the family members who are asleep or who may try to retard your growth? So to that point, one thing about spirituality is you got to understand, on this spiritual path, you will more than likely understand that if you're on this page doing this type of shit that we're doing, trying to better yourself spiritually, evolve, go to the next level, more than likely you are the black sheep of your family. And if you're not just the sole one black sheep of the family, you're definitely part of the outcast of your family. And why is that? Because to be an outcast and to be on this spiritual path and to break free from the paradigm that you were born into, the ignorance that you were born into through your family, it's one of those situations where you're going to have to walk that path alone. The path of knowledge and wisdom is a lonely path. And so you can't expect everybody to be happy for you when you start to grow. You can't be expecting that your family that you grew up with and they raised you a certain type of way to understand where you are now on your spiritual path. It just don't work like that. And so what happens along this way when you're on the spiritual path, you have to be aware that what you're going to be faced with is a lot of challenges for a reason. One, it's a good thing because it forces you to have to find a philosophy that you stand on. As a man or a woman, just a human being, period. You have to find a philosophy that you stand on. What do you stand on, nigga? What's your principles? What's your ability to understand that the things that you accumulate along this path in terms of wisdom and knowledge works for you and it betters you? And what you find along that path is that that path just means that everything that you're on in terms of the spiritual path is for the betterment of yourself. And then in terms, when it's for the betterment of yourself, it's for the betterment of everybody around you. And when it's for the betterment of everybody around you, it also increases the amplification of your energy in the world. Because you're one more person along this spiritual path attempting to wake up, attempting to align yourself with the universal energy. So a lot of the times you can't expect people to understand that. And if you do expect your closest people around you to understand that right now as you are drastically awakening, it's going to keep on motherfucking being something that you're going to have to nip in the bud until you actually address it with them and learn to say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I stand on. These are my principles. This is what I'm about. And in that process, you get to show yourself that you are who you say you are, and you stand on the shit that you say you are. You're not just regurgitating some shit, or a lot of times family members, your parents can think that you're just going through a phase. You know, they'll say shit like that, especially for the young homies who be hitting me up. Because a lot of the young homies that I'm speaking to, I'm talking to the 16, the 22, all them niggas that be on my page following me, fucking with me, asking me these questions. You got to learn to develop a spiritual philosophy. Because these are going to be things that are going to turn into virtues and attributes about yourself that you can stand on when the time gets tough. The time gets tough, you don't fold on, all that type of shit. It's a real process, and it doesn't happen overnight because you're going to get tested all the time, not just with your family. So the thing about it is, if you can get used to standing up to your family about some shit that you know is very important to you, then you're going to learn to align yourself with that energy, and that energy is going to be aligned to your purpose, because you're going to be doing something that makes you feel good, that puts vitality back into you. You're going to be doing something that you know is increasing the love and the positive energy on this planet. You know what I mean? Don't think of it as a thing to take personal when people like your family outcast you, especially if they're religious and you're not religious no more. All it shows is that you have to continue to do what you're doing and make it meaningful for yourself, because what a lot of times what people pay attention to is who you are and how you act and how you conduct yourself more than what you say. And it may not mean shit to your family, but subconsciously it works and rubs off on them over time, because not that they're going to just accept you for who you are. Some may not, based on their growth and where they are spiritually and emotionally and just in their own evolution of their own soul. All you can do is do yours. Walk your path. Walk that motherfucker chin up, chest out. Because, nigga, at the end of the day, you came in this bitch by yourself, you gonna leave by yourself, nigga. So get used to being by yourself in terms of understanding that people may not agree with what you say. Motherfuckers don't agree with me every time, but I don't give a fuck because I'm on my path. And so like adjoins like, you know what I mean? And that's all that matters. So when you end up getting out of a certain paradigm and you grow and you go to the next collective conscious that you start to, you know, take a liking to, of course they're going to look at you different. You got to expect that. And you should want that, because that means that you know you're on your path. That means that they can see you changing. So that's good. You're changing. They see it. So now you continue to change, you continue to grow, and you continue to be on this path and not take it personal when your family outcasts you. Yeah, it's a hurtful feeling, but what you find out along this path is that if you start to vibrate like you're doing, you're going to meet people who are in alignment with where you are, and you guys start to form a bond. You know what I mean? Some people like to call it they vibe tribe. You know what I mean? All that type of shit. Whatever you decide to utilize when it comes to aligning yourself with like minds, that's what that matters. You know, that lets you feel better about yourself. That becomes an inclusive type of vibration that you want to be a part of, right? It's people who really feel the need to grow and be the best them as well. So along this journey, you get to trade war stories, you know what I'm saying, what y'all been through, and you get to have that strength in you, because you see that you're not alone. You're not the only person going through this shit. So just keep that in mind along the lines, you know, and at the end of the day, remember, you came in this bitch by yourself, you're going to leave this motherfucker by yourself, so you better get comfortable with yourself in terms of who you are, loving yourself, and really learning to know yourself. Salute.
This has its own magic.
Look, yeah, I'm about my money, little bitch. Yeah, I'm about my money, little bitch. Hold up, yeah, I'm about my money, little bitch. If you fucking with a nigga, help a nigga get rich. Look, yeah, I told my bitch I'm about paper. Trying to jug it up, baby, trying to get a scraper. Trying to get a play on the